Now, Maxwell House again brings you the sole owner and distributor of one exceptionally fine tenor voice, Tony Martin. Tony sings Change Partners from the Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers RKO picture, Carefree.
Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? You have danced with him since the music began. Won't you change partners and dance with me? Must you dance quite so close, with your lips touching his face? Can't you see I'm longing to be in his place? Won't you change partners and dance with me? Ask him to sit this one out, and while you're alone, I'll tell the waiter to tell him he's wanted on the telephone. You've been locked in his arms ever since, heaven knows when. Won't you change partners, and then you may never want to change partners. Again I beg of you, try a love that's new. Is it wrong for me to yearn for you? I'll tell the waiter to tell him he's wanted on the phone. Oh, you've been locked in his arms ever since heaven knows when. Won't you change partners, and then you may never want to change partners again.
Very nice for the notes, partner.
Hello. Yes, just a minute. Oh, Bob.
Yes, Warren.
Alan Jones on the phone.
Oh, thanks. Hello? Yeah?
What?
What? Oh, that's terrible. Oh. Okay, Alan, I'll fix that, Morgan.
Hey, Frank. Just deal me out of this hand, fellas. What is it, Bob? I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, you're in a hurry.
Yes, I got to get back to that game. Those musicians cheat like thieves. It's outrageous.
I know. We'll take that ace out of your sleeve and stay here a second.
Well, how did that get in there? Those fellows will stoop to anything.
Well, never mind that, Stoop. I want to talk to you.
Yes?
Last week you told me you knew how to cure a sick horse.
I do, sir.
Well, listen here. When I told you my horse was suffering from the hampers,
Yeah.
you told me to give him his oats mixed with nitroglycerin.
That's right. That's precisely what I gave my horse when he had hampers.
Yeah, well, mine died.
Mine, too. Well, I've got to get back to that card game.
Now, wait,
I've
Frank.
What?
Why do you go around prescribing medicine for things you know nothing about?
Now, just a minute, my second-guessing young friend. If anything happened to your horse, it was due to your own negligence. What kind of nitroglycerin did you use?
What do you mean, what kind? There's only
Yes.
one kind of nitroglycerin.
Oh, well, my dear fellow, when I gave you that prescription, I suppose you knew something of the chemistry of the hydrocarbons.
Chemistry now.
Well, it certainly never occurred to me you'd use nitroglycerin without the H group. Wrong molecule altogether.
Molecules.
Yes.
Are you going to tell me you know anything about chemistry, Mr. Morgan?
Test tube, Morgan, sir, the greatest laboratory technician that ever peered into a microscope. There's an echo in the joint.
Yeah, well, never mind the echo. If you're going to make out you're a chemist, Frank, you've got me to deal with.
What?
Yes, test tube. I studied chemistry for 5 years.
You?
I was chief analyst for a factory for 2 years.
No.
I'm a student of organic, inorganic, and physical chemistry, and the inventor of a new process for recovering Na2CO3 from NaCl and COC3.
Hollywood 0271. Yes. Well, I've got to get back to my card
Now,
game.
wait a
I
minute,
can't.
Frank. I'm not going to let you get away with this. You stay right here till you admit the whole chemistry thing is a lie.
Bob, every minute I'm out of that game, I'm losing money.
Come here.
Yes.
Were you ever a chemist?
Well, I certainly. But I will say that my special field of interest was not chemistry, but, Bob, do you know anything about bacteriology?
No.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
All I know
one of the
about
things
bacteriology is what I could learn in 3 years' study of microscopic bacilli and the filterable viruses using dark field illumination and methylene blue stain.
Blue stain. Yeah.
Of course, I dabbled a little with straight bacteria, fooled around with the cocci family.
The cockeye family. Yes, well, I knew the daughter well. Impish little thing.
Yeah, well, Frank, that just about washes you up as a bacteriologist.
Bacteriologist, yes. Well, spelling. Physics. Physics. Do you, Bob, do you know anything about physics?
No.
Well, in that case, you didn't study it in your spare time.
No.
Well, Bob, physics is the only true science. It was as a physicist, my boy, that I spent those long years of my life in search of the great, glorious, and ultimate truth.
Did you look in your top dresser drawer?
A cheap joke jib.
Not what it says here.
You have no conception of the truth as I saw it. I have sat with Copernicus in his lonely observatory and watched the majestic stars in their courses.
Of courses.
I have communed with Newton under his apple tree, the source of nature's first law.
Apple source.
Young, you're a nice fellow in your own way, but now you're getting in mine.
Yeah. Go ahead with the stars, Copernicus.
Well, it might surprise you to know that only yesterday I had an urgent call from Caltech Observatory to come and examine their new 126-inch reflector, the biggest in the world.
Are you kidding?
Certainly not. They just wanted my opinion of the glass, and I assured them it was superb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Bob, it certainly took me back across the years to the day when I was grinding my own lenses, a poor student at the Academy of Sciences.
Oh, you ground lenses, too, huh?
Of course. I had to make my own telescopes in those days. I'll never forget the first one. I worked on those two lenses for weeks, grinding, polishing, buffing, till I could see my face in them. Nothing daunted, I feverishly set the powerful lenses in a metal tube and prepared for my first view of the hidden glories of nature.
Did you see them?
No, her shade was down. Besides, Bob, it turned out I had reversed my lenses and had manufactured not a telescope, but a microscope. You can imagine my excitement.
Yes.
I placed a powerful light behind the instrument, slipped up my sleeves, slammed a slide into the slots, stole a slanted slit.
Very slipshod.
Well, when I looked into the microscope, I was astounded.
What did you see?
A neon sign, 8 feet high. It said Schlitz.
Slits.
Yes, one of my lenses was the bottom of a beer bottle. I gave up microscopy after that and stuck to beer bottles. To physics. It was about this time I became interested in the artificial manufacture of diamonds.
Diamonds?
Yes, I shared the conviction of my many physicists that it might be possible to exert enough pressure on a quantity of charcoal to produce diamonds or other gems just as nature produces them.
Say, if it works, it's better than a gold mine.
Precisely, my boy. Well, sir, I procured 25,000 pounds of charcoal, carefully prepared from inbred oak trees, and placed it in a Prince Metal thermo galvanometer, an elaborate machine weighing 110 tons made from pure asbestos.
Big thing.
Plenty big. I set the dials at 11,000 degrees centigrade, the enormous heat required to liquefy pure carbon. Connected up the electrode with the anode, the positive with the cathode. Now everything was ready. I seized the lever and swung the galvanometer into the B position.
B position? What's that?
Bottoms up.
Down the hatch.
Bun your eye.
Thank you all.
Have another. Inside of 2 hours, the enormous cauldron began to boil. It was time for the pressure.
Yes?
80,000 pounds to the square inch, squeezing those 10 tons of carbon into smaller and smaller space.
What a marvelous machine.
Oh, I left the laboratory because of the unbearable heat. For 2 hours, I paced the corridors outside, wondering, not daring to speculate on the outcome of the experiment. To think I might be the first man to synthesize a flawless gem.
Go on, Frank.
Nervous as I was, I refused to cut a second from the allotted time for the experiment. But at the proper moment, I shut off the galvanometer, removed the anodes, and opened the enormous compressor. Every sign of the carbon had disappeared. But there, in the center of this big, huge asbestos bowl, lay a tiny little green object, no bigger than a pea.
An emerald.
No, it was a pea. I never did find out how it got in there. Well, so long, Bob. I got to get back to the card game.